folks. We're going to start with setting the groundwork here so you kind of know where this conversation, how we ended up at conservative infighting about this. So grocery prices jumped 33%, which is the biggest surge in 50 years. Oh, by the way, folks, I forgot to mention, after we cover our lead stories, we do have our new segment, Rapid Fire, where we're going to jump through about 20 headlines or as many as we can get through in a short amount of time. And we're going to give you the hottest takes on each headline. But first, Alexx, I feel this, okay? Like this, I can tell by what it costs to feed my family that these grocery jumps are real. Like this isn't a made up thing.
Yeah.
Okay. The price of groceries has climbed 33% since the beginning of 2019, the biggest increase in half a century, forcing millions of Americans to rethink what they buy, how they feed their families, according to a sweeping news report. In the contrast with the recent past is stark. During the 7.5 years before 2019, the cost of food purchased for use at home only rose 6.4%. That's realistic. That is something American families can deal with. The latest federal figures show that the pressure has not ended. The food at home index rose another 0.2% in June and stood 2.7% higher than it had a year earlier. Fruits and vegetables increased 5.3% year over year, while the broader cost of living rose 3.5%. That distinction helps explain the disconnect between slower inflation and the experience families have at the checkout line. A lower inflation rate, and a lot of people get this wrong. A lower inflation rate means prices are rising slowly. It does not undo the accumulated increase that has already taken place. A lot of people think like, oh, inflation is plummeting. Yeah, that just means prices are increasing more slowly. It's not undoing all the damage that the prior inflation has already done. A lot of Americans get that wrong. The historic run-up has no single cause, it says. That can be debated. Pandemic supply disruptions, droughts, hurricanes, bird flu, shrinking cattle herd, reduced supplies, Russia's war with Ukraine. I heard fertilizer actually is a huge factor in the cost of goods, the cost of your groceries. So that war in Ukraine, which Trump promised he would end and has not done it yet, is huge. Tariffs. Tariffs. I don't know enough about the tariffs to blame the tariffs. Renewed conflict in the Middle East. The worst spike came in 2022 when Biden was in office, of course, which probably this is one of the things that cost him the election. Good thing for us. When overall food prices rose 9.9%, the fastest increase since 1979. The consequences are visible at the family dinner tables, my friend. In Cleveland, Texas. Cleveland, Texas. That's crazy. Is that Cleveland, Ohio's sister city? 60-year-old who lives with her adult daughter and 3 grandchildren. So there are times where they can only afford one full meal a day. So even if you can only afford one full meal a day on your phone, on your paycheck, here's something else that shouldn't be the case, which we'll get to. It shouldn't take you an hour's worth of labor to pay for one burrito either, which we'll get to burritos here and how that Matt Walsh started a firestorm with that. The family has replaced brand name. I don't know about you, but we've been buying a lot of grocery store brands as opposed to the brand name stuff. Beef is crazy right now. An average of $6.82 a pound. Like, that is insane. The department now expects beef prices to rise 10.7%. So they're going to go up even more. Fresh vegetables are going to go up even more. It's crazy. Average Americans spend an average of 12.9% of their pre-tax income on food at home and in restaurants in 2024. Among the lowest earning fifths of households, however, food consumed 33% of pre-tax income. The strain has become a political liability, which needs to be addressed ASAP. Trump told Congress in February that inflation was plummeting, but again, inflation plummeting isn't rolling back the prices. It's just slowing the growth. Incomes were rising, but incomes are barely above. The USDA expects another rise of 3.1%. I think wages, one of these articles I'm about to share has the wage increase. So you can see that it's like wages have only increased by 0.2% more than inflation. So like the profit margin is slim. So I don't know, Alexx, are you feeling it at your house or what?
Yeah, absolutely. At the same time that all of this happened, my wife decided that we shouldn't eat a bunch of junk food and we should try to eat healthier.
Sure.
So now we spend way more money, get a ton of less food, and I mean, it is what it is. I spend around 250 a week on toiletries and groceries. It's definitely one of my biggest bills. I have 3 children. Again, I live in Rhode Island. Cost of living here is pretty high.
Yeah.
But it looks like cost of groceries are pretty high for everyone right now.
Oh yeah, dude. I'm old enough to remember when $100 of groceries could feed you for the whole week. Now, $100 you might buy you 3-4 days,
Yeah.
depending on what you're buying and what like. And so of course the tone deaf conservative influencers had to weigh in on this. So let's start with Joel Berry. So Joel Berry, conservative influencer, is this? I don't know how to blow this up. Can you see that? All right.
Boom.
So last night, so Andrew Colvett, who works with TPUSA, was talking about. He did a
Kind of
post
the
about.
face of TPUSA right now.
Yeah, yeah. And he talked about how students were talking about affordability. A burrito shouldn't cost $20. Exactly. If you make $20 an hour, like it shouldn't take you an hour's worth of labor for a freaking burrito. But Joel Berry chimed in and said, last night my wife made homemade burritos for our family of 8, and it cost less than $20 total for everyone. I'm beginning to think the affordability crisis is really an I don't know how to cook crisis. So yeah, let's slander our conservative young voters,
Yeah.
like by telling them that they actually just don't know how to cook, which is ridiculous. So Matt Walsh chimes in. One of the problems with this claim is that virtually no Republican was making the affordability crisis is fake argument during the Biden years. Exactly. Thank you for calling that out, Matt Walsh. It's extremely transparent to everyone that the unwillingness to acknowledge these obvious economic challenges as at least partially politically motivated. The second problem is that no matter how thrifty your family might be, and no matter how cheap your homemade burritos, the significant rise in grocery prices over the last 6 years, as we've just read in that article, and the fact that the rise is continuing and not stopping, and certainly not reversing, is just a mathematical reality. It can't be denied. It is a fact. Grocery prices gone up by 30%. He was 3% off. I'm happy for you, and if your family isn't significantly impacted by this problem, but it's real, it's a problem, and conservatives better come up with an answer that isn't just learn how to make cheap burritos, or we will get crushed, which we're already in danger of being crushed in the midterms. That's another reality. I think Matt Walsh, I don't know, what do you think? He nailed it right on the head there.
Yeah, I think he nailed it right on the head. I don't think this is a problem that we can solve with government. I don't think
Okay,
you
go
can
on.
govern yourself into a better economy. I think we all have to step up and make our economy better.
Give me some examples.
I think that government can add lubricant to an economy, but an economy is useful when everybody is producing. So if we want cheaper products, we have to produce more, we have to work more. But we also can't complain about higher grocery prices when we forced farmers to fire or replace illegal alien workers with higher paid American workers. Can't have your cake and eat it too. We've been
Okay.
subsidizing our groceries with cheap foreign labor, and now we're taking that cheap foreign labor away, at least a little bit, which I'm sure has upped the prices in America for food. It has to.
What about what about so we import a lot of beef. I think making our farmers compete with foreign markets as well is probably costing some money. We also make it illegal for a farmer, and this was huge. Oh my gosh, what was this, 2022? Amos Miller, an Amish farmer, was trying to sell milk, raw milk to his community, and he ended up in a
Got shot.
never-ending. The FBI just came in and wiped him out. He's in never-ending litigation because the state sued him for doing that because the government has so much red tape put
For
up
our
just to be
safety.
able. Yeah, for our safety, just to be able for you to be able to sell your goods. Like it's illegal for me in Ohio to depending on what city I'm living in. In Columbus, this is illegal for sure. I can't have a garden and then I can't just like sell my neighbor the tomatoes that I grew. Like I have to go get like permits and and I have to spend money and they have to come like send the FDA out to check and make sure everything I'm doing is sanitary. And it's just all this red tape. So, eliminate a lot of that red tape so that people can feed their own neighbors, I think would do a lot of good as well. And that
I think that will help. I think that our only hope is to dramatically improve production. And I do think there is a path forward with that with AI. I think AI and robotics, here's how the government can help the economy. Pour money and lift regulations for data centers. Pump AI into this economy. Get actual robots replacing these workers instead.
Oh, right.
And yes, some people will have to find new jobs. That's life. Your job's always up for grabs. If something or someone can do it better and cheaper and faster, you're out of a job. That's life. We need to learn new skills, get new jobs. But it will be better for everyone if, yes, say all ranchers needed to get a new job. That would suck. We need to help them. We need to figure out how they can get a new job and learn a new skill in society. But what if beef was 100 times cheaper for everyone?
Well,
how would that not help our society? How would that not be beneficial?
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, we'd all be eating good. We'd all be eating that.
I don't know if AI could get beef down to 100 times cheaper. But there are foods that they could 100% get down to really cheap with robots.
I can go with that. I do think government does play a little more of a role than maybe you were thinking. And here's one that I just thought of, thanks to you, Ohio Patriot. U.S. taxes paid exceed total spending on food, clothing, and shelter combined in the aggregate across the whole country. So maybe we are also getting taxed way too much as well. If we had more money in our pockets, maybe we wouldn't be feeling the inflation. So I think what you're proposing is a solution to the overall problem. I think we wouldn't be feeling the problem as bad. Ohio Patriot could point out if we had more money in our pockets to spend on the food in the first place.
Fair enough. Now, what do you think about, speaking of groceries, obviously, Mom Donnie, new grocery stores. It's going to spend about 70 million on 5 grocery stores over the next 8 years or something like that.
Yep. That's going to kill competition and there'll be bread lines in those neighborhoods before you know it.
And this is what you get. You get 30% off for 1 week out of the month.
Yep.
So really, you get a 7. So he's building massive. I mean, the liability, the organization, the manpower, the time, the energy, the taking buildings that other people could rent and renting them, all this stuff for a 7.5% discount on my groceries.
Right. Well,
that doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, I mean, well, the back and forth did get more people chimed in, of course. So Jackie Shea came at Matt Walsh, said few people are denying the crisis. I think the bigger question is why we're talking about it now, right before the midterms. Well, because now is when it matters, idiot. This is the biggest talking point of the surging socialists. We're not preventing them from taking power by harping on it ourselves. We can't ignore it, lady. We're validating and helping them. Yes, we need to deal with it, but it will take years of truly conservative policies, which nobody seems to have the stomach for, to do it. If we're going to talk about this, then we should do it in the context of conservative solutions, deregulation, etc. If not, we're just nodding along with the socialists. Matt Walsh clapped back, said, "What? Are you suggesting that denying the problem before the midterms is a better way to win votes? If you're worried about the political implications, and you should be, then that's all the more reason to address the issue head on. I can't believe this has to be explained." Again, I'm with Matt Walsh on this one. You can't just ignore it. You cannot just ignore it. We have a short bus guy in the, hold on, I want to play this one first before you bring that up.
Okay.
The facts, buddy. POTUS inherited the best economy in the world. plus POTUS dumb decisions of invading third world countries as to stabilize the world economy, eliminate the silly tariffs. First of all, you can make an argument for the Iran war, but he did not inherit the best economy. That's just objectively false, my friend. Objectively false.
He's actually, if you didn't know, he's not anti-Trump. He's just a really, really big, massive JD Vance fan because he wants Trump to resign so that the VP can take over.
Okay. I mean, but anyways, the feud went on. The Italian
Bugs,
Texan
actually.
stallion.
You'll eat bugs and be happy.
Right. Yeah. You'll eat the. I easily support a family of 6 using a community college education. The solution isn't whining about the economy. Stop. Like that's like people who with like conservative voters who have real problems with what's going on. You can't just tell us we're whining. That's just retarded. It's making better financial choices in your life. People who cite the economy just want to avoid accountability for their poor choices in life. That's probably the dumbest argument of any conservative could ever make. Matt Walsh says, I support a family of 8 with no college education at all. You don't impress me. I'm not talking about our economic problems because I'm personally suffering. I'm talking about it because a lot of people are suffering. I don't need to be personally hurt by something in order to care about it. If you're a patriot, then you should want America to be a nation where normal people can afford to buy a house and feed their families, regardless of your own personal financial situations.
I've never understood the get a better job argument.
Yeah, me neither. It's like learn to code. It's the same thing that Biden told us. Learn to code.
No, it's because we need someone needs to do certain jobs. Now, do we need fast food workers? No, I think we can go without fast food. But do we need most of these jobs? So
right.
What are we going to pay them? We need to pay them a living wage.
For sure. Or like you said, if you have robots doing it, the food will be cheaper. And then that labor market can put itself somewhere else useful, hopefully. That's why I don't believe in bailouts, because if a business is failing, those people will be out of a job, but that labor market can go into better companies. That you know what I mean? Like if I'm working for a company that sucks and they can't make a profit, well, my labor would be better used at a company that can.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that having cheaper products will allow people to have more money to invest into the economy, start more businesses, hire more people. There are bigger and better problems to solve out there. We need to move on.
100%. Ohio Patriot calling you out, Alexx.
Well, a man can't yawn. I'm a hardworking American patriot, husband, father of 3, full-time job, business, YouTube channel. A man can't yawn. Come on, cut me some slack.
Come on. Hey, man, you're feel free to call into the show and tell us what's so funny about being Christian patriot. But hey, speaking of JD Vance, he did weigh in on this, and this will be the last part of this story. Call in the show if you have any opinions about the affordability crisis. The link is pinned in the comments. Hit that like button and subscribe and share the show. So Mark Thiessen, also a conservative influencer, talking talking like an idiot about this stuff. JD Vance had to weigh in on it, right? But it was writer and podcaster Mark Thiessen who took issue with the comments about burritos, how Joel Berry was talking about the burritos and everybody made it about the burritos. Cry me a river. The burritos in the college cafeteria are included in your meal plan, to which Vice President JD Vance remarked, I'm surprised to hear Mark say this. If you've ever met him in person, it's quite obvious the man has never missed a burrito. Thank you, JD Vance, for standing up for us. JD Vance. Oh, yeah, here it is. The 3.5% was the inflation as of June 26, compared to a wage growth of just 3.8%. So I was right. I was wrong by 0.1%. So 0.3% difference there. Not much room for error as far as that goes. But let's look. Mark Thiessen, was JD Vance right? Does this look like a man who's never missed a burrito? I don't know. I mean, he's not skinny, but I don't know if I'd say he's a fat boy.
It's just because we're all so fat now that you don't even know what fat really is anymore.
That's quite possible. That's quite possible, my friend. That's quite possible. Oh, do we? We have
As our resident Zionist, we have a chatter for you, Mr.
okay.
Campagnana.
Is it this one? Do you guys agree with Trump?
Well, for one, you literally support burning Christian children alive.
I do.
Jeremiah paused his burning a Christian child alive today to do this podcast. So
I took a timeout from that. I took a 20-second timeout, like they do in the NBA, to stop the burning of Christian children alive. Thank you very much. That makes me the perfect
he
Christian.
stopped Nero LARPing.
I've been following the law perfectly for the last, I don't know, 30 minutes or so. So come at me, bro. Come at me.
Because there are Christians in Gaza being killed right alongside the Muslims. Jeremiah, how can you be a Christian and a Zionist when they're killing Christians in Gaza?
Well, as everybody knows, Christian Zionism means that we support genocide.
Everything that
because
Israel does.
The Bible also supports genocide. So, and everything, yes, everything the modern state of Israel does is basically what Jesus would do. So, you know, it's what it is. Get over it.